I'm left out here on the edge of this island. I think there's a crack in the bottom of the boat. Supposedly it'll sink. Oh, man. That was awesome. Get him on, yeah! How's that for a yellowfin tuna? G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. For those new here, I'm Strick, this is my best mate Az, and we are finally back together, combining forces, filming through the remote Indonesia.
That's right, Strick, happy to be here. We're about to jump on this big, essentially pirate ship for the next 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, maybe longer, but we're gonna take you guys along for the ride. As always, the highs, the lows, and absolutely everything in between.
It's gonna be good, guys, let's get into it.
A mate of ours was bringing his boat, the Orca out, back from Thailand into Indonesia for the upcoming surf season. And we had this rare opportunity to jump on right at the tip of Indonesia and explore a remote part of this country we hadn't seen before. We were hoping for big fish, some waves, and just an all-round adventure. Our mate Tim runs charters with this boat through the Mentawais, so if you do like what you see through this episode, make sure you check them out. It took a few days to get ourselves to the waters of northern Sumatra, but as soon as we got on the boat, we wasted absolutely no time in getting the gear ready, jumping in the water to get a fresh feed of fish for us and the crew.
Nice one, mate. Rainbow snapper.
We really weren't used to having a crew that was eager to fillet fish up for us, so we let them take charge. And the midnight snapper is a bit of a treat because you don't generally catch them on a line, or we never have. So the sun set and the chef whipped up an absolute winner of a meal. The next morning, we were underway really early and heading offshore to a spot out wide that looked amazing on the charts. So, safe to say, there was a fair bit of excitement amongst the crew as we started to get the spearing gear ready.
Dolphins at the bow. Probably 20 of them. Just want to jump on them, swim with them.
It's game plan, mate.
In the middle of the channel here, there's a couple of rocks that just break the surface, which could be a good spot for dog-tooth tuna. So we're jumping off the main boat, jumping in, doing a bit of a drive-by. Fingers crossed we can get some fish.
To the right. A little banana for my troubles.
Right, so the sun's not long risen and we've just come out in between this set of two islands, and it comes out of 4,000 or 5,000 meters deep, and the objective is to try and jump in the water and get a fish. So we're not really sure what to expect, but there's big currents, we're extremely remote, we've got the blue water gear, so we're gonna jump in and check it out. Handsome saltwater gangster.
And this is what we both look like in super slow motion, very excited to go spearing.
Go. Lot of bait, rainbow runner.
Look, it had been a long time since we'd done any blue water spearing together, and with light winds and strong currents, we were eager to get in the water. This type of spearing is all about teamwork. Long drifts, finding the right pressure points, finding the bait, getting some small fish for chum, and going drop for drop in hoping that one of these bigger fish will come in.
The ocean's like a washing machine at the moment. We're just getting ripped between these little islands, little rocky islands. We're reset. Yeah, that was perfect. I reckon that with a bit of chum. Yeah. Yeah, later on, definitely. Thank you.
We did a few drifts and were doing all the right things. There was a lot of life in the water, walls of bait, and we really felt that surely it was only a matter of time.
We got a wahoo! Oh man, that was awesome. What was it, 3 or so? There's more wahoo behind us. Pretty good, almost missed it. Yeah. Looks as good as the second shot. Great. Beautiful. Wahoo for lunch. Big slab of wahoo right there getting cut up. I honestly can't remember the last time I had someone else fill it for me, but it's it's a nice change. He knows what he's doing. There's gloves there if you want.
After a couple of long steams in calm conditions, we pulled into a small bay which looked the background of a postcard, and just our luck, there was a small fun wave. Perfect for a couple of kooks to brush up on our non-existent surf skills. We grabbed the boards and got into it.
Yeah, I reckon so, mate. bit of colour there now.
Yeah, we're still get to...
Yeah, there's a bit of colour.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Oh,
Bit of mackerel.
big job fish.
Barracuda.
Mackerel.
Spanish.
Little macco.
Get in, mate. Hey,
Yeah,
nice
boy.
one. Fresh mackerel.
Little Spaniels. Hey. Beautiful little Spanish mackerel. That should feed the crew for a day anyway. Just arrived at this new anchorage here. I've put the drone in the air to get a bit of a bird's eye view of it all, and right in the shallows here it looks like the outline of a really old shipwreck that's sort of broken up and deteriorated. So we're going to throw a mask and snorkel on, jump in and swim over and see exactly what this is.
Old shipwrecks like this immediately catch our attention. Not only do they become great habitats for fish, but we've also heard enough stories over the years of people getting lucky and finding old pirate treasures, coins or trinkets. Needless to say, we're always keeping an eye out for anything shiny.
Epic little beach.
Yeah.
With that all in the back.
There's 1,000 coconuts planted there. Little fringing reef.
Good fish.
Yeah, there is a couple of little fish.
It's clear.
Well, mate, it's a likely spot. If I was a big GT, this is where I'd be terrorising. Take your word. Oh, fucking dropped it.
On that hole, you got it.
Right on that bommy.
Yeah.
Nice day. How's that, mate? Yeah, unbelievable. It's like these huge limestone casts, these little islands that are coming out of the blue water. We've come for a cruise around one side of them, and there's this cave here. There's a bit of a pirate's ladder up the side made from like driftwood and some rope that's washed up on the beach from maybe old fishing net, and a little bit of a bamboo walkway out there, so we're going to go check it out. We've climbed a little ladder up the edge of the rock face into this huge limestone cave where there appeared to have people living at one point in time. Like there's sort of old buckets and sort of signs of an old camp.
Big old spider conch shells.
Really big spider conch shells, which looks like they were having fires and someone was literally living up here. It's that old machete.
Yeah.
Geez, that looks like it's done a bit of work.
Pretty awesome, mate. Let's go have a look right up in the deep section up here. Sounds like it goes straight down to the ocean through that little portal hole.
Yeah, you can hear the water crashing down in there. Oh, it's gurgling. The smell is quite like musky, like mouldy, a bit like guano, like bat shit.
Is that what they're collecting? Is it running down the road? They must run down, eh?
Wow, it goes right up the back. It just keeps going. Oh, bats everywhere up the back there. Do you hear that? So it's said that in some of these caves, people will come out and camp seasonally for a few weeks or even months at a time, collecting a small swallow's nest. And they'll use these birds' nests as a bit of a delicacy and sell it to use in soups and other different food products, like a lot of sort of different Eastern medicine. This particular one is said to make you strong like a bull. But yeah, you can definitely see people have spent a meaningful amount of time in here, but we're a bit wary because I think we weigh a few more kilos than your average local. Holy, geez, it's kind of eerie, to be honest. Yeah, it just keeps going right up the back, and you can see signs of like a little camp up the back here as well. Wonder if anyone's in here.
People could live here for years undetected, eh? When places like this, my mind just runs wild back to the pirate days where they lived in caves like this and buried certain treasures, and you never know what you'll find, eh? It's pretty cool.
Little wash bucket where they're collecting fresh water from up on the roof. It's like a big dark cave. Oh, what's this here?
Something here.
A bit of a camp, old camp. Or collecting fresh water maybe.
Man, there's some interesting noises coming from the depths of this cave at the moment. They might have been bats, those ones. Would you spend a night here, Az? It's pretty spooky, eh?
Yeah, not by choice.
Yeah.
I think, as you said, if I was on the run from something, this is where you'd most likely find me.
For sure.
This here must be where the water's filling up into all these little caves at the bottom of the big opening. Washing in and out. What a wild spot. The water is the perfect temperature to swim. You just don't want to leave it.
As we're cruising down the coast, we've noticed on the charts there's a spot out here that comes up from about 1,000 meters up to about 20 meters, and we're hoping that is a real hot spot for some big fish. So we're about to jump in the tender, shoot off, and go and check this spot. The big boat's gonna keep going. We'll meet it in a couple of hours, hopefully with a couple of big fish. We'll see how we go.
All right, we are packed up. Guns, fins,
Okay.
makeshift float. Yep, ready.
Okay.
Go ahead. Terima kasih, Wahoo.
Okay.
Captain Wahoo there. Right, and we're off. So we've just come up to this high spot behind us here, and first thing we're doing is checking which way the current's running. So Fran's going to quickly jump in, do a bit of a current check, see the strength of it and which direction it's running, because we want to head where all the bait's sitting. Fortunately, the water is looking significantly cleaner. All right, current's running that way. Can you see the bottom, Fran?
Yeah, it's clear.
Really clean?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like 30 meters.
Fran reckons it's like 30 meters viz, which is welcome news considering the last few dives have been really green water, quite eerie. So nice to find some clean water.
Not long after getting in the water, the captain sped over to us. The look on his face was clear. Something is seriously wrong. The boat was filling with water. Fran and I jumped in to try and help, but he needed to speed off to try drain the water out the back, leaving Az, who was busy with the float line, just drifting by himself. The bilge pump couldn't keep up. If we slowed for a second, the boat would fully sink.
Yeah, he can stay here. I'll make this up right now, but I'm left out here on the edge of this island in the current, drifting along. Strick and Fran had jumped in the tinny, and they said they had to keep moving because the tinny's sinking. I think there's a big crack in the bottom. About half a mile away, doing big laps, trying to get water out of the bottom of the boat. Hopefully they do, so they can come pick me up. But for now, I'll just keep floating here, hoping for the best. Yeah, not ideal. The boat's sinking. Decided I'm going to swim towards this island. Otherwise, if I get caught out in this current off the edge of the island, I don't know where I'll end up. I'll start drifting pretty fast. Next stop, Sri Lanka, I think, from where we are in northern Sumatra. But fortunately, I've got the float. It's quite comfortable. And they've fished most of the sharks here out, which is horrible, but at least there's not a lot of big sharks as a threat. The boat's just doing circles around me. It can't slow down, otherwise supposedly it'll sink. So they're just doing laps and laps and laps. Yeah, I think there's a crack in the bottom of the boat, and yeah, the hull is full of water. I think Strick and Fran are getting dropped off back on the orca out. See you, mate. Oh, bugger. Alright, looks like I'm floating out here for a while. See if we can spear a fish. No chum left behind. Just me and you out in the deep blue now, mate. Shrieks just jumped out of the boat and swam over. Oh. Well, there was a couple of longbows getting around.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Alright.
Try and get one of them.
Might have to do a real life survival challenge here, bro.
Oh, mate.
Really.
An unintentional survival challenge.
The boat was like
So close to
so
sinking.
bad, yeah. Like it was almost all gone.
Yeah, it was like at the back, it looked crazy low.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the go? Is there a big crack in the bottom?
They must be taking a heap of water at the back and he can't quite get on the up enough to drain it out.
It just keeps filling out with water. Oh, bugger.
What you're about to see unfold is a pretty raw and unfiltered account of our tender sinking as it races to find land and, quite impressively, almost makes it. Fran, with the crew, tried rapidly to get the boat onto the beach, which was a huge challenge to do given the weight of the boat and the waves persisting to dump into the tender, further filling the vessel with water and spreading the contents of the boat all over the sand and into the ocean.
Holy moly.
Yeah, you made it. Woohoo! Thank you.
Funny, it's not in here, Jack.
That was a pretty big set. The last hour, but Fran managed to survive. Well done.
I got some footage.
That was hectic.
That was hectic. So quick.
Like, I'm glad you're in one piece, mate.
So the afternoon's taken an unexpected turn with probably a 10 to 12 inch long slice being found in the bottom of the tender. Obviously no way to really easily get it out of the water when you're miles and miles from an island or any physical land. So it's filling heavily with water. Been a bit of a debacle trying to work out what to do and to patch it. Bilge, not enough to get it out, and a few other things stacking up against us, but basically found an island here that has enough of an access to get the beach up. Fran and a couple of the guys managed to get the boat off the bottom of the ocean. It was, stopped it from sinking and got it up onto the beach. We've now got it tied up to a coconut palm tree on the foreshore here. We just need to wait a couple of hours for that tide to go down, and hopefully we can conduct some repairs on it and get it ready to go. But the plus side is amazing sunset, calm conditions, some really helpful people on the island here that have a conservation, like a turtle conservation zone, where they're keeping an eye and monitoring a lot of different species of turtles that come and nest on this island. And we're gonna get a fire going to the side and yeah, wait for this tide to drop out so we can fix the boat. Oh, this is so good. First fire of the trip. Yeah, yes. Month up.
See you tomorrow. Good night, Arjo. You just swimming out in the dark there, mate?
Yeah, we got to.
Right? Yeah, mate.
We'd done all we could for the night and swam out to the backup inflatable tender to head back to the mothership.
Swim towards that light, eh? No sharks here, is there?
I think they fished them all out.
Yeah. Thank you. No. Happy to see you, Captain.
Thanks, Captain.
The next morning was nothing short of a mammoth effort from the crew, raising the tender and getting it patched up and back onto the water. And considering we'd lost a lot of gear, we thought we'd have one final swim to check if there was anything that could be recovered.
Look what I found.
And most importantly, we couldn't believe it, we found the chum hats.
No way, what are the chances of that? I got a present for Aaron.
I can't believe that.
Me either.
What were they sitting on the sand?
Just sitting on the bottom. Buried.
Oh, we're already getting sunburnt enough.
Oh no.
Oh, that's good news.
Bit of a...
So good.
For now, the tender was back in action and it was time to explore further afield.
Hey!
Alright, we've been steaming for a while and the skipper just goes, there's a fad in front of the boat, half a mile. We've just come up next to it. Yeah, literally in the middle of nowhere, crystal clean water, quite often hold wahoo or triple tail or mahi, so we'll just do a quick jump in the water and check it out.
Two bigger ones swam off. There, they just went off into the blue. A big mahi-mahi's just come in, hopefully ours can spear it. No fish, Andy. Couldn't get them.
Oh, there was one dolly or mahi-mahi and there was a handful of triple tail, which you generally find out here on like a floating log or a bit of debris or a fad like that. And there was about a handful of them, two that were shootable, but they wised up pretty quick and swam off into the deep. So really cool to see, but no fish. We'll keep moving. Fish on, fish on!
Been kicking around on the surface, so just splashing around like a decent fish.
Oh, wahoo! Wahoo!
Wahoo! Beautiful wahoo!
Fresh fish for another couple of days for the crew.
Oh, I can't wait to eat that raw.
Oh, that's heading to Sri Lanka. We got the braid heading to Sri Lanka.
What do you got, you reckon, mate?
I'm not sure, we're just sitting back knocking off a coldie, and then we just heard the reel absolutely scream, just trying to dodge the tenders. But yeah, most likely a half decent fish, hopefully a wahoo or something. We're in 100 meters of water, so there's a bit of weight to it, eh?
Yeah, man. Took some line, didn't he?
Okay, buggers.
5 minutes later?
Yeah, five minutes later, feels like 20. Still going. Had some good weight to the fish. I'm really keen to get a visual. Get it, Lucky. Could be a blue trevally.
Oh, yellowfin, eh? Yeah, it's a yellowfin. Yellowfin.
Yellowfin.
Yellowfin, mate.
You just gonna gap it from up here, mate?
Yeah. Oh, watch it. Get him on, yeah.
Yellowfin in the boat. That's all we need.
Beauty.
How's that for a yellowfin tuna?
Beauty, eh?
Yeah, really nice solid fish. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 kilos. It's gonna be a really good feed. Well, not apparently. The best way to cook these is not cooking them at all. So, really looking forward. Come here, you! Come here! It's all right, mate. Never seen that sort of trick before. Well, that's another day out here on the pirate ship. I think that actually stoned it.
Oh, it worked.
We've just arrived into what's regarded as the best surfing location on Earth and feel like we hadn't quite got our fix yet. So I think we've all got a bit of a bucket list of things that we'd like to do in life, and one of ours was to get barreled in the Mentawais. A barrel, also known as a tube or getting pitted, is when a surfer rides inside a hollowed out wave face. Something I'd never even come close to be honest, but after watching a heap of Torren Martin's YouTube videos, we felt like we were ready. I mean, he makes it look so damn simple. How hard could it possibly be, right? So it turns out it's a bit harder than it looks, but what we lacked in skill and perhaps style, we tried to make up for with persistence. And as the days rolled on, the wipeouts became less frequent, and with the first big swell of the season brewing, this was our chance for that bucket list barrel. I read a quote online somewhere that said, you can do anything that you put your mind to. So with a heap of false confidence, we paddled out and the swell had arrived. A wave crested up on the horizon and I knew this was my chance. You got this. I also read a quote online that said something about nothing good comes easy. So you got to get back on the horse and keep trying. You never know when your luck might turn.